Hello, Gareth Naylor here, watercolour artist living in Japan. And it's December now, the middle of December, and it's cold. And that's why I'm dressed like this. So it's morning. I've had a very relaxing morning. It takes me a while to get fully functioning in winter time. I don't know about you, but it takes me hours. But I'm starting to feel normal. Yeah. So anyway, what I wanted to show you is some paintings I've done of a place called Aoshima. So I went to Aoshima about 3 months ago, and Aoshima, I've got a frog in my throat. Aoshima means blue island, blue island. But I later heard that there are several blue islands around Japan, so it's not unique. But this blue island is in Miyazaki, a very laid back prefecture in Japan. It's kind of like the California of Japan, minus Silicon Valley, but it's a really nice place. Anyway, I went there. I even stayed one night and I had a wonderful time. The weather was really nice. And yeah, if I'm being honest, like I was hoping to paint this really beautiful scene of the island, and it's a little bit like a dream, like you've got a sense of something, but it's not 100% clear. And what I mean by that is I had this sense of this kind of island image that I wanted to paint, and and I thought it just seemed like, well, that's what I wanted to paint, and I thought it was going to be so great. But the truth is that didn't really happen. And the scenes that I got were different, and to be honest, a bit challenging to turn into good paintings. But I think that improved my abilities, looking on the positive side. And sometimes one of the strange things is, one day, maybe it was the second day, did I stay 2 nights? I forget now. I might have stayed 2 nights. But I can't believe that when I do these videos, suddenly there's someone outside making a lot of noise. But that's the way it goes in my life. I don't know about your life, but that's how it goes in my life. And I just have to battle on. Yeah, so I took a walk by the sea. So the sea was the Pacific Ocean, yeah. And it was a really interesting walk. And there will be a movie at some point. And at some point when I get my, when I get myself together and whatever, start functioning properly, get my act together, my act. Yeah, that's what it is, all pretentiousness. But when I get my act together, then I will have a link to that movie. At the moment, I've got nightmare problems. Well, maybe not nightmare problems, but I bought this super duper desktop computer, yeah, and I wired everything up, monitor, keyboard, mouse, and guess what? Oh, and also it's got this glass plate on the front, yeah, and it fell off, and I put it on my desk, the desktop computer, because I was told to do that by the professionals. Don't do that, especially if the front is very loose, and it's this really crappy, to be honest, loose front. Here it is over here, yeah. It's called something League. Let me have a look. So New League, yeah. It looks beautiful when it's all lit up. I mean, I'm not a gamer, but it does look nice. But I'm really more interested in functionality. But anyway, the glass plate fell off, and there was this really weak thin wire attached to it that came off. I can't get it to go back into the socket, and now that glass plate, there's something inside of it that's moving around. So yep. And I thought, okay, let's just see, I can live with that, just as long as it works. And so anyway, I plugged it all in and switched it on, and guess what? The monitor, no VGA. And so now what I'm doing is ordering one of those HDM1 wires and seeing if that works. But it was so disappointing because I'd been waiting for this for a long time, and then I ordered all the peripheral things. Goodness me, that's difficult to say. And that took a while. So goodness me, I don't know what I'm going to do. And it cost a lot of money. At least for me, it was a lot of money. And you just kind of assume that when you spend this amount of money on a computer, that it's basically going to work, and that when you plug a monitor into a computer, it works. I mean, I really want to swear at this point. I mean, when you spend this amount of money and it doesn't work, and yeah, I think I can send it back, but how long is it going to take? And I use it for video editing, and I do all this video editing, and I use this DaVinci Resolve, but it's too hard on my normal computer. That's why I got this. But it didn't work, and it's a nightmare. But moving on to more positive stuff. Crying moment. But moving on to more positive stuff. Anyway, I went to Aoshima, and then I really struggled to do good paintings of this place. I really struggled, but I eventually ended up doing some. So persistence is very important. Although saying that, I do have to say, sometimes it's just not doable. Sometimes you can't make a good painting of a certain scene. So I think Seth Godin wrote a book on that called The Dip, but it's really difficult, that kind of knowing when to quit and knowing when not to quit and to persevere. So it's really difficult, I really couldn't help anybody or advise anybody on that, nor myself. Anyway, let's get on to the paintings. Yeah, so this is the one that I was so happy with. So you might not like it, and of course it's not even the island, and this often happens with me. Yeah, I go to some beautiful place like a blue island, and I end up painting the road. I mean, for F's sake, you know what I mean? What's going on here? But it looks good, right? It looks good. Look at that psychedelic sky. It's amazing. So basically, I will paint things that I think will look good. And I have got a few paintings of the island, which I will show you. But this is one that I'm really pleased with. And one of the things I really like, I mean, a lot of it is just empty space, but no problem. It's good in a painting to have a busy area and then a quiet area. And what I like about this painting is, well, first of all, the composition. Then I like this lovely textural effect. I don't know if you can see that in the sky. I like that. That's my little Van Gogh touch. Well, he had all those little marks, right? And then I just like, I don't know what it is. It just looks good. It just looks good. Yeah, the lines leading in really make it a good composition. I love the little factory roof in the distance. I think that's there. There were some other buildings which I removed because they weren't aesthetically pleasing at all. I love this wall and the kind of marks it had on it. I used artistic license there, which basically I use all the time. And I like my figures, and I'm just happy with it. And I love the highlights I did on the bushes. And by the way, if there's anybody who says my sky doesn't look like realistic, then I'm going to say something now which maybe might overwhelm you. But although my paintings look quite realistic, I'm not some pure realist. I will do touches of, I don't know what you call it, surrealism. Oh, not surrealism. I mean, we haven't got lions coming out of people's mouths, but I will make like a psychedelic sky. I have no problem with that. I will do anything. I will use white paint. God, I bet some dead watercolor artists are turning in their graves now. But I will do whatever it takes to make a good painting. And I like touches of impressionism and abstraction. So, yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Otherwise, this will take forever. So this is the next one I did. And I'm really happy with that. I love my sky. I love that gritty path there. And my figures are really cracking. They're great. And I love the trees, and yeah, even the sea is good. The sea is really difficult, and the beach is good, you know. So I'm really happy with this one. And if you look, there's loads of pen lines. There's lots of pen lines, and I like that. Although I've been painting for about 20 years, I still have to be more creative, more adventurous in my paintings, yeah. So and it's fun as well, but obviously you do get a lot of failures. So I'll just show you briefly, I'll try and keep it briefly, some of the other paintings I've done of this wonderful place called Aoshima. I really did have a nice time. And that walk by the coastal path, maybe I didn't say this, I got sidetracked and rambled. So this is a ramble, yeah. So I can only do rambles. I can't do these planned videos. But I walked by this path and it just went on forever and ever. And I didn't see one scene that was paint worthy. But at the same time, it was a wonderful walk. Absolutely wonderful. And, you know, looking out upon the vast Pacific Ocean was just, yeah, it was an experience. Just feeds the soul, yeah. But at the same time, couldn't do a painting of that. Maybe one day I can, like when I'm really good, because you're always getting better, luckily, in painting. Despite everything else falling apart, painting tends to get better. Thank you, God. I'm not a Christian, don't believe in God, but thank you, God. Maybe you get crazy as you get older. Maybe I always was crazy, but there you go. Have to show my appreciation in some way. It's good that not everything deteriorates. Can't even bloody say the word. Okay, but moving on. But it was a wonderful experience. But I just couldn't paint that place, you know, sadly. Anyway, I'll show you some of these paintings I did. I'm really happy with a lot of them now. Sadly, I can't make the video about this place yet though, because the computer, you know, I'm not even a computer person. I'm an artist. Why do I have to learn about computing? I don't expect computer people to learn about art. It's not fair. It's not fair. Okay, anyway, so this is kind of a weird painting, but I love the textures and I love this cloud. So this was the bridge going across the sea to the island. The island's over here. Did I get that right? Yeah, over here. And you've got this gate. I don't know if you can see it, but there's this gate. And that's quite an interesting feature. It was not easy to do these paintings. Then I did another one because I wasn't happy with that one. And I quite like that. The sky is wild, right? The sky is wild. Okay. And then this was one on the island and the gate, and I wanted a dusty effect. So I used a lot of white paint here, yeah. And there's my amazing skies. It was actually all blue and a bit of white, but hey, let's spice it up a bit. Let's play around and have some fun. And it worked, in my opinion. Okay, and here's another one of that bridge. This is my more conservative one, but I like this a lot. I think that looks beautiful. And maybe one of the things that makes this painting work is like, and this is unconscious. I wish I could say, oh, I'm a genius and I just, knew that this would work, but just by accident. You've got like a triangle here and a triangle here. I'm only seeing this now. And obviously it makes your eye focus here and it leads you into the painting, right? So that's one of the things that makes this really good. It's almost like a target, right? And then this one is an interesting one. So there was a harbour, and when I first did this painting, I saw the photograph and I thought, I like this scene. And so I had a go, but when I first looked at this, I thought, yeah, it's cracking, it works. But then the more I looked at it, the more closely I looked at it, I thought, I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments, yeah? So what do you think? Then this one was just me messing around. This was like a piece of scrap paper or something. And I did a doodle of a car up here. And then I just decided to turn this into a road. And I love textures. So I don't know if I'll include this or not. But I might, even though it's not really related to Aoshima. But there we go. And then this one, I know I shouldn't have painted a pushchair, but I did. This one I'm not going to show. That one is not quite good enough. I think it's dramatic. I think it's interesting, but just, yeah, it's not quite right. Something wrong with it. Okay, here we go. Here's another one of the gate. So that's okay. It's got quite a nice feeling. And then here's one where I went around the island and there were some nice bits. I think what I like about this one is there's a feeling of peace. Yeah, I need to calm down a bit. My voice is sounding a bit erratic. There's a lovely feeling of peacefulness, and I think that captures it. I don't think it's such a great painting, but it definitely has a peaceful vibe. Oh, and I stayed in a tent, and when I woke up in the morning, I decided to get up early because I wanted to capture the sunrise, yeah. But when I got out of my tent, I saw this amazing sky. And this is like before the sun has come up above the horizon. And it was just these lovely, warm, rosy coloured clouds. And it was all soft and beautiful and warm. It was amazing. And you had this silhouette effect with these palm trees, which is where my tent was. Yeah, I know I should have included the tent, yeah, but I'm not that brave. And this is me, I guess, with my silly floppy hat. But it protects me a lot. And I'm really happy with that. It's quite a simple scene, but I'm happy with it. Sorry, I always think it looks stupid when you've got a picture like this and my head sticking out like this, but that's the way it is. And this one is the beach, and I did these clouds, and I love these clouds. They're really punchy white clouds. This is the second attempt. The first one, I did the sky by wetting the paper first and then doing a soft wet and wet. It didn't work. I'm not saying it can't work, but it didn't work for me. So I did wet paint on dry paper next, and that worked fantastic. It really gave me those punchy clouds, those white punchy clouds. Love them. Love them, love them. Oh yeah, and I think I'm really happy with this one. Now, you might not like this, especially the realists, especially the purists of watercolour, yeah? So if that's you, you shouldn't watch my channel, okay? Because this is going to upset you. So why do I love this? I love this painting because I went a little bit crazy. Can you see with the red paint here? Can you see I let it all run? And what I also love is this texture here and the somewhat surreal colours. I mean, it definitely wasn't that colour. You know it wasn't that colour, right? But it looks fantastic, right? It looks fantastic. And I love the shadows. I love the figures. Yeah, it's a cracking scene. It's a cracking scene. Maybe my sky could be a bit more psychedelic. Yeah. My life is sometimes a little bit of a contradiction. I've never taken drugs in my life, and yet here I am with these psychedelic paintings. Go figure. I don't know. But I like it like that. But I'm really happy with that. It's interesting. This one, I'm not sure about. I like the mood. Yeah, looking at it on the screen, it looks different to looking at the real thing. It looks much better on the screen. I'm going to keep it. I might even show it. I think it's got, the colours are really interesting in this painting. They really are interesting. You know, it's got something. I don't know what it is. So maybe I'll keep that one. And I like my little touch of mint green here. I like the mint green. But yeah, and then I'm getting there, guys. I go OTT. I just paint and I paint and I paint because I love to paint. And that's the path again. And I like this one. I like the sky. Yeah, I like the figures. It's good. And then there's that gate again. And I love this with the almost splotchy red clouds. I think that's cracking. Cracking. It works. And I love even like, can you see my pen lines? I like my pen lines. I like to use a pen. I think it really adds character to the painting. Character to the painting. I've never heard anybody say that before. And here's another one. This is a simple one, a sketch, but I like that. It's got a lot of pen lines. And there's that peaceful scene again. Yeah, I think that one's got even more of a stronger sense of peacefulness. Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's working well. I love that sun. Look at that sun. But it does express, doesn't it, like what the sun is, like a ball of hot radiation with these incredible colours coming off it. So, yeah. I like it. Is that the end? Oh, I think that's the end. Yes. I got a real... Okay, you can see something really rubbish. What is that? So there you go. This is me being humble, showing you this, yeah? Because that is just a crappy drawing, yeah? So there you go. And I'll just show you this. I should stop, but I'll show you this. Can you believe that is painted with just 3 colours? So this is a place called Kuju. And this is one of my watercolour lessons. So if you want watercolour lessons, then please, go to the link in the description box, because I love teaching art. I love doing art. And I think this is a good place to start. Stop. Goodness me. I think this is a good place to stop. And hopefully I'll do one more of these before Christmas. So that's all for today. And I hope your life is good. And if you're an artist, I hope you're painting and enjoying it. Please enjoy it. And if you're not, I just hope you're enjoying your life. So all the best wishes in the world, and bye for now. Goodbye or farewell. Sorry. Farewell. That is definitely the end. I can't do any editing on these videos because, the computer does not work. The new computer. It doesn't even... Okay. Time to go. All the best and bye for now. Bye-bye.